kid people that have HDAD or ADHD or whatever, you might not can sit through this movie because you're going to go fucking crazy because you actually have to pay attention to a goddamn movie.
You do.
So you might think it's boring. It's not boring. It's just you don't have the attention span because
it's storytelling.
Mommy took you to the doctor, and of course you have something. But anyway, this movie produces emotion, which I don't recall ever being emotionally invested in a Godzilla film.
I have never been emotionally invested in a Godzilla film.
And
I
let's
said that really
talk.
weird. Godzilla film.
And let's so we already gave praise to the actual characters that play in the film and the emotion that they bring, but let's talk about the actual Godzilla, who I think is the legitimately the most scariest looking Godzilla.
Yes, though it kind of gives me goosebumps thinking about the eyes on this thing. To me, it had like kind of eyes of a snake. You know, like when you look at a snake, it just kind of can creep you out. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not saying like his eyes was made like it, but it had that feel, like that intenseness.
And when he's gliding across the water, and you just see like partially like the eyes popping up, like it's legitimately like horrifying and stuff. And you think to yourself, man, what about if you were out in the middle of the fucking ocean on a boat and this giant fucking thing happened?
Yeah, it was like Jaws, but Godzilla.
Yeah, the best I can say about this is it is the best Godzilla film ever. Like Japanese or American. Like the Americans can suck my ass.
I mean, I agree with you.
Like they have a new Godzilla versus Kong coming out, and I mean, we're gonna watch it or whatever, but I doubt. I mean, the only thing that I can say is good thing Kong's in it, because if it's just a standalone Godzilla, it's not going to live up to this at all.
Yeah, we didn't do a review on this because we saw it so late, and then was like, well, what do we do? Well, I guess we'll talk about it when we do our top, of 2023.
And the best thing that I can say is it's kind of a retelling of the classic Godzilla film with a little bit modern day twist to it.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Well, it doesn't take place in modern
yeah.
day, but it's modern day technology that can make the past look better.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah.
Because special effects are really good in this film. It's not overdone with CGI. The CGI is it's there, but it's done so well that it's not a problem.
It doesn't take you out of the movie like I talk about normally.
No, the best thing I can say, the highest compliment is it's the best Godzilla film I've ever seen. So,
and it's number 2 on our list.
It's number 2.
If that says anything, this movie it had me fucking teary-eyed. Like towards the end of it?
Yeah, emotion. Like that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about was emotion.
Yeah, the way that they wrote the story and everything got me invested in it. And I wasn't expecting it. I was like, there's no way this movie is that good. I mean, it's a foreign movie you got to read, and it can't be that good. Fuck me sideways. I mean, we got a new Godzilla with a kind of classic look. So, I mean, it pretty much took the old Godzilla, like, look of, that and love, and, like, amped it up, made him very, like, creepy in the face. He's not very round, but he's not really narrow.
Yeah.
And then, they gave him his laser blast thing, and it's the classic blue, and I don't know why the Americans feel like they need to fucking change that. I don't know why.
Well, that like I said at the beginning,
gotta be different.
Well, like I said at the beginning, they lack the emotional attachment to in the American versions. Like honestly, when I watch the American movies, I just want to see Godzilla wreck everything. I don't care about the characters.
Yeah,
And that's the problem. That's the problem.
In this Godzilla movie, Godzilla is a monster. I want
Right.
no part of this movie.
Like, to me, the American Godzilla is like Transformers. I don't give a fuck about any of the human characters at all. None, never did. None. I just want to see the Transformers. That's all I
blowing
want to
shit
see.
up.
Right. Well, this movie is different. I cared about the characters. I wanted to see their strategy. How are they going to do it? Because remember, this is taking place back in the day. They don't have modern day technology.
Yeah.
You know, this is taking place, what, 50s, 60s?
Yeah, a little after what?
A little after World War II.
Two. Yeah.
So a little bit after 1945.
Yeah.
So how are they going to deal with this? So that was it's a great. It's just great. Go watch it. If you have a hard time with subtitles, sorry.
I'm sure they're going to come out with an English dub. This movie did too well for it not to get an English dub.
Yeah, you'll probably can get a get like a Blu-ray exclusive. Get like the English version, get the Japanese version, get the dub version, get this version.
Buy this movie. Do not rent this movie. Buy this movie.
Yeah, it's a great one. So I'm going to jump into my number one because it's a movie you talked about, and that's Evil Dead Rise. That's my number one of the year. I really don't care what other people have to say about the film. I had an extremely good time with this. This was everything that I wanted an Evil Dead movie to be. This it was creepy, and you said earlier that it had some comedy in it. I would call it sick comedy or black comedy. It's something that might make you laugh, but you probably shouldn't laugh at it because it's not really funny. It's more like that's kind of sick.
It's a dark humor.
Dark humor is what it's about.
Yeah.
And I like you. I like the family, and I really felt for the mom being possessed. You know, because I mean, and another thing, the Evil Dead does it right. You know, there really is no happy ending to the Evil Dead. Once you get like kind of possessed in the Evil Dead film,
You're fucked.
You're fucked. The only way that you can be cured mostly is if somebody kills you.
Yeah.
Like you're
pretty
like
much done.
Yeah,
It's a done deal.
You're done. And I think it takes place in the apartment. I love the isolated feeling. You know, going from the cabin to the apartment, I think is a great segue or a great substitute. And I'm looking forward to more movies because I don't think that there's one movie in the Evil Dead saga or series that's bad. There's kind of like what was the other movie that I told you that all of them are pretty good? I can't remember what it was, but add Evil Dead to it. You'd probably hear it on a Horrible Conversation when we were talking about it. But Evil Dead's one of those movies. I love the first one, love the second one. Army of Darkness is fantastic. The remake was 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
That movie was fucking sick as hell. And this one, I agree. It was a combination of the 2013 look with the feel of the 1981 movie.
Right.
So I think this was the best time. I was just so happy that this movie did not disappoint me. If it disappointed you or you didn't like the dialogue, then maybe you take yourself too seriously, or, you know, maybe
It just might not be your cup of tea.
maybe that's not your cup of tea. Maybe you're a pussy. Maybe you're a pussy and you can only handle PG-13 movies.
Oh, my God. You need to stop.
Yeah.
Stop it. Speaking of stopping, we're not stopping until we talk about my number one, God damn it. You've already talked about it, which I think's funny because your where I had the thing and the remember
He's a
that
she,
time?
he's a she, she's a he, he's a she. He's half man, half woman. Stop it. I'm going to kick you in the balls. She has them? She has everything. She has everything.
My number one is Saw X.
Which happens to be my number 4s, I think
Yeah,
is what you were trying to say.
Yeah, I was getting caught up on my words.
Your
but, yeah.
number 4 was Evil Dead Rise.
Yes.
My number 4 is Saw X. So,
yeah, we trade places.
yeah.
Which is just funny. I don't know how that worked out. But yeah, everything you said about Saw X, I totally agree with. I've had time to think about how I feel about Saw X. And I personally believe it is my favorite in the series. Because we get the best storytelling, the best acting, out of John Kramer's character. Tobin Bell is fucking awesome. He totally kills it. Yes, he's in the first movie, but he there's no acting in the first movie. He's a body on the floor, and game over, and shit.
And throughout most of the series, he's limited in what he does.
Exactly. And we get to see him not really at his,
Acting chops.
Yeah, in this we get to see his acting capabilities. We get to see John Kramer's character where he's not really like, deteriorized to the point where he can't really do anything and he has to really rely on other people. We get to see him kind of like a strong character. Yeah. They did a great job in making him the anti-hero in this movie because at the end of the movie, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, go Kramer, go Kramer. It showed that there is more evil in the world. I wanted my only negative aspect comment about Saw X is I really wanted that bitch to like fucking get it. Yeah, I hated her.
I think would have made it a little bit better for me is if you would have saw her get a really gruesome death.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I think that I would have liked for them to have mentioned Jill, his wife, at least one time in the film, because he kind of just goes off to Mexico and it's like they could have had like a scene where he's like, "Hey, I'm going off. I'll be back."
Could have,
because at the same time she was there, for the majority of it. So
yeah, it would have been nice to see
just
her a little
bit. Just a little small,
little
nitpick, but nothing too bad that would affect the script of being bad or anything like that.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, it got me in my feels watching it. Like, even now it kind of gives me goosebumps. It just, I loved it. It gave me the feeling of when I was watching the first Saw in theaters.
Sorry, I thought you said it gave me the finger.
I'm going to give you the fucking finger.
This movie gave me the finger. You know what? Yes, it did.
You're scatting all over my number one, man.
Exorcist believer, you gave us the finger.
God, I gotta pee.
Halloween ends, you gave us the goddamn finger.
Oh my God, that's gonna be the new thing. This movie gave us the scat finger. Got scat on their finger from giving us the finger.
This movie was not a finger, it was 2 thumbs up.
It was 2 thumbs up. I agree with pretty much everything we have on our top 10 list. I think it's, the best we saw last year. Last year was a pretty good year.
Pretty good.
Honestly. This year is the year of sequels and prequels and not too much original stuff coming out. So it'd be interesting to see how we do when we recap 2024. Can't really talk. But thank y'all for tuning in, listening to us. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Instagram. Horrible Podcast. You know where we're at. Come say hey. Stop by TeePublic. Type in DJ Death. You'll pull up our web store. We'll be putting up some new designs soon. But until then, how do we end this thing?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Daddy. I'm JT Ripper.
And I'm Todd of Thunder saying toodaloo.
And stay spooky.